Hi students, today we're going to learn about balancing word equations. Now balancing word equations isn't too much different than balancing regular equations, except for you have to write out all of the formulas first. So the steps to determine, first you want to determine if the substance is an element or a compound. And when we do this, I'm going to abbreviate E for element and C for compound. For elements, just write the symbol of the element. However, if it is diatomic, you need to add 2 as a subscript. Remember that Brinkelhoff are the diatomics. So you've got Br2, I2, N2, Cl2, H2, O2, and F2. Those are only diatomic if it is an element. You don't worry about the diatomics when they're compounds. For compounds, if you have a prefix, you use the prefix as a subscript. And then if there's no prefixes, you're going to have to cross over the oxidation numbers. And then after you have them written correctly, you want to balance the equation. If you're not able to balance the equation, that means you've written something wrong. So we're going to practice both of these. You should try and do this by yourself first. You can try to maybe see the first one first and then pause and do the second one by yourself. So the first one we're going to do is lithium plus iron 2 phosphide yields iron plus lithium phosphide. So first we're going to determine if they're elements or compounds. Lithium, since it's only one word, that is going to be an element. Iron 2 phosphide, you have 2 words, so that's a compound. Next we have iron, that is an element because it's only one word. The next one, lithium phosphide, is 2 words, so that's a compound. So now we are going to write the formulas. Notice that underneath you've got short blanks and big blanks. The big blanks is going to be where the elements or compound formula goes. The small blanks are going to be where coefficients go. So lithium, find lithium on the periodic table. So here's lithium on the periodic table, and lithium's right here. It's just an element, so you can write the Li. Now, because it's an element, you need to worry about Brinkelhoff, B-R-I-N-C-L-H-O-N-F. Li does not appear in Brinkelhoff, so you don't have to worry about a subscript. Let's do the other element because that's easier. So we've got to find iron. Iron is right here. So that is Fe. Fe is also not part of your Brinkelhoff, so you don't have to worry about a subscript, just write Fe. Now let's do our compounds. We've got iron 2 phosphide. Those do not have prefixes, so you're going to have to cross charges over. So iron, we said, was Fe, and I'm going to write it up here. We will write it in the blank eventually, but I'll write it up here so you can have charges. The 2, iron 2 tells you the charge, so it's plus 2. Phosphide, let's find phosphide on the periodic table. Phosphide is your phosphorus. That is a -3. So that was P, -3. So you cross your charges over, so you get Fe3 P2. Now let's do the other one. We already have lithium as Li. If you look at the periodic table, that is a +1. And phosphide we said was P-3. So if you cross them over, remember you don't have to cross over a 1, so you get Li3P. Now you need to balance. So on the left we have 1 Li. On the right we have 3. So we're going to put a 3 in front of the Li to balance that. On the left we have 3 Fe, and we only have 1 on the right. So we're going to put a 3 in front of the Fe to balance that. We have 2 P on the left and only 1 P on the right. So we're going to put a 2 in front of that. Realize that changes your Li. Now we have 6 Li because 2 times 3 is 6. So you're going to have to erase this 3 and then add a 6 in front. You should pause and try to do the next one on your own. Okay, now we've got sulfur trichloride breaking down into sulfur and chlorine. So sulfur trichloride is a compound because it's 2 words. Sulfur is an element because it's 1 word. and chlorine is an element because it's one word. So let's do our elements first because those ones are easier. So let's find sulfur on the periodic table. Sulfur is right here. So that is S. It is not part of your Brinkelhoff, so it does not need a 2. Let's find chlorine. Chlorine is right here. That's Cl. Cl is part of Brinkelhoff. It's right here. So that needs to have a 2 behind it. You only worry about that when it's an element, not when it's a compound. Now let's do sulfur trichloride. We already realized that sulfur is S and the chloride is going to be your Cl. So we know we have S and Cl. This one does have a prefix. It has the prefix tri, so you don't have to worry about crossing charges over. The prefixes tell you the subscripts. So sulfur, since there is no prefix, there is going to be no subscript. Chloride, so we have Cl. The prefix tri tells you that the subscript is 3. Now we need to balance. There's one S on the left and one on the right, so right now that is balanced. We have 3 chlorines on the left and 2 on the right. Well, we can't get 2 to 3 by using a whole number, so we need to figure out what they can go into, and the lowest number they can go into is 6. So to get this chlorine to 6, we need to take 3 times 2 to get that to 6. To get this chlorine to 6, you want to take 2 times 3 to get that to 6. Though this messes up our sulfur, we now have 2 sulfur, so we need to increase the right sulfur by 2, so we're going to put a 2 in front of that. That is it for today's notes. Have a good night.